BookTube. I didn't know you were going to show up today. Thought I'd bring the fireplace back since it's, chilly and snowy out there. It just seemed the right kind of feel. Anyway, I thought I'd pop on here and kind of make up for my last two Missing Friday Reads videos to kind of catch you up as to what I've been reading, what I finished, what I enjoyed, what I liked, what I didn't like. I pretty much liked everything. Anyway, let's jump right in. First book I finished, which I had mentioned earlier that I was reading, was H.Y. Hannah's Deadhead and Buried. This is the first book in her English Cottage Garden mystery series. I've read two books in her, I think it's the Oxford Tea mystery series. Really enjoyed that. I'll probably want to finish that series up before I kind of go into more of these, but I really like this. It's one of those cozy mysteries. I love a good cozy mystery. They all have kind of a theme to them, whether it's cats, dogs, chocolate shop. In this case, you have gardens. And our main character, Poppy, she's a city girl. She recently lost her mom, and she's been paying off her debts, and she's working at this, her mom's debts, I should say, and working at this job. She just hates her boss, is just awful to her. And one day she gets this letter from a solicitor saying that she has inherited her maternal grandmother's English cottage, and attached to it is the nursery that she was running. There is the stipulation, though, that if she is going to live in the cottage, she has to reopen the nursery, which has been kind of derelict for a while her grandmother was ill. She doesn't really have a green thumb. The most gardeny thing about her is her name, Poppy. Anyway, she gets into this row with her boss. She ends up quitting, and now she's kind of stuck. What's she going to do? So she goes to kind of check out the cottage and the nursery. And when she gets there, it's a beautiful cottage, but the gardens are overgrown and everything, and she's kind of wandering through there. And she encounters this cat, Oren, which belongs to the writer who lives on the one side, and Oren's arch nemesis, which is a terrier named Einstein, who belongs to the eccentric inventor on the other side. And then she also stumbles upon a body, kind of partially buried in the garden, and it was apparently the gardener who had been taking care of the place while her grandmother was ill. Now she's embroiled in this murder mystery and kind of has to, figure out what's going on. But I absolutely loved it. I love the eccentric inventor next door was quite hilarious. Her relationship with this cat. She ends up kind of stuck there, kind of deciding, what's she gonna do. She can't stay in the cottage because it's a murder scene, and ends up staying at the writer's house next door, who's gonna be away. So she's like watching the house for a complete stranger watching her house. I don't know, it's a small town village, but I really love the characters. I love the plot. Like any of these kind of mysteries, you kind of start getting intrigued about the setting and things, whether it happens to be like a chocolate shop. Oh, I read a chocolate mystery one time. I just was dying for chocolate. And this time I was dying for spring. I just want to see flowers and green and stuff instead of all the snow and slush out there. But I really enjoy her writing. Like I said, check her out. Both series I have enjoyed so far. There's even another one, which I have, book one, I think, downloaded. That's like a paranormal mystery. I'll probably read that one sometime soon. Next up, I read this book, Unknown Contact by Michael Sheeman. This is available as a print-on-demand or an ebook. I just downloaded the ebook. Full disclosure before I get into the review, I happen to know Mike. I did not know he wrote. He happens to be my manager at my former bookstore that I worked at, and I happened to see a posting on Facebook one day saying, hey, I published this book. If you want to check it out, if you like it, tell your friends. If you don't like it, tell them anyway, to pick it up. So I was totally shocked. All the comments I was reading from my former coworkers were saying, I didn't know he was writing a book. And this is a psychological thriller. It features our main character, Zach Sanderson. He's like a 48-year-old widower with two sons. And he's had two great tragedies in his life. One fairly recently where his wife was killed by a drunk driver. And one 30 years ago when he was just 17 years old. And he was witness to a home invasion in which his mother was murdered. He and his friend Andrew, who was staying over at the time, identified the killer, and he was sent away. So he's been dealing with a lot of grief all these years, and he's finally, I think, ready to move on, start a new chapter in his life. And he suddenly gets an unexpected start in the form of a text from an unknown contact. And it's not completely unknown. It's someone who knows him, someone who's a friend, but is kind of testing the waters to see if maybe they can move beyond this friendship. And he's intrigued, and they start to kind of start these like daily texts back and forth. And he's going to come to rely heavily on this person. This is kind of a confidant to his feelings, because he suddenly gets this letter from a law firm. And this law firm is representing the person that he and Andrew identified as his mother's murderer. They believe that their client is innocent, that there was evidence that wasn't brought forth, and they want to talk to him, they want to talk to Andrew. And it's going to open up a lot of old wounds, bring back a lot of memories, some of those maybe fallible memories, over the years, 30 years. And he's going to have to reconnect with Andrew, whom he hasn't really had much contact with at all since that day. So this is a really great psychological thriller. There's lots of plot twists. There's this dual timeline going on where you have the present day, then back to 1989, interspersed throughout the book. And the author does a really great job of kind of balancing those two timelines and just feeding you that little, snippet of memory that Zach experiences back in 1989, just the right moment. Lots of little red herrings and things like that. There's a couple times where I started to realize where a plot was going, and I was just like, oh my god, I know what this means. And then I was like, poof, he'd kind of like throw me a little twist again, it's a little surprise. I really enjoyed it. You have at the heart the 30-year-old murder mystery, but then you also have this more lighthearted subplot. Even though it's the main title of the book, it is more of the subplot, I think, in it. But the texts were like romantic and playful, and just gave a little bit more lightheartedness to the storyline. I really enjoyed it. There's a quite diverse cast of characters. At first, I thought it was almost too many, but it kind of adds to that element of who did what, who knows what. And I love that lots of LGBTQ plus representation within the book as well. Not necessarily in terms of like coming out storylines. It's just characters that just going about their everyday lives. So really great representation, really great detailed characters. And I love the whole murder mystery behind this thing and how everything unfolded. I thought he did a great job. I hope he writes some more. I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. So that's Unknown Contact by Michael Sheeman. Currently, I'm still listening to my audiobook, She Who Became the Sun, and this is by Shelley Parker Chan. This is for the NB Book Club on Instagram. And I believe today, sometime at around 3 o'clock, I'm filming this on Sunday, there's going to be a discussion on it. I haven't quite finished it because I've been listening to an audiobook, and now I'll be a little bit behind because I listen to it when I drive to work, and I'm not going to be driving to work for about a week. So I'll have to figure out some other alternative time as to when I'm going to listen to it. But still really, really enjoying this one. Apparently it's the first in the series. And yeah, I'll get more into that when I finish the book. The ebook I'm currently reading on my Kindle is an Italian village mystery. It's the first book in the series by Adriana Liccio, and it's Murder on the Road. You can kind of see this car crushed by a rock. I don't know why there's a dog, because I haven't seen a dog. Seen a dog. I haven't read about a dog in this series so far yet. But it features our main character, Gio. I think it's short for Giovanna. She was living in Britain. She's engaged to be married. And for reasons you find out throughout the book, the engagement was called off. And she's gone back to Italy, to a small little southern town where she grew up. Her family is a little beach resort type thing. And trying to decide what she's going to do with her life. She's a travel writer, so she could pretty much go anywhere, but thinking she's probably going to resettle back in Italy. And she ends up encountering this scene at a road that's sort of been closed due to falling rocks. So she comes across this vehicle with a big, huge rock on it and an arm jutting out. And someone has been crushed. But now it seems like maybe it wasn't an accident, that someone may have made that rock fall at that particular time and was aiming for this person who owns this vehicle. And her being on the scene at that moment kind of makes her one of the suspects, and she's kind of pulled into this crazy investigation. And she's actually quite good at it. Her, along with the gossip group around, and her sister, and she ends up kind of like delving into it and trying to solve it on her own in a way. Also kind of clear herself, but I'm enjoying it pretty much. It's not my favorite so far. Being set in Italy, I don't really get that feeling like it's an Italian mystery. I guess because of the language, it's written in like British English. But there's not enough, I don't know, maybe if they threw in some Italian words or, someone with a thicker accent, I don't know, something to give it more of an Italian feel. I don't really feel the setting per se. So we'll see how that goes from there. Another book I finished reading, which I forgot to mention before I talked about what I'm currently reading. But anyway, I did just finish this one last night. It's a book that I've been just kind of looking at every once in a while, picking up a page, reading another one, looking at the pictures, because when I saw it, I couldn't resist. But this is 365 Days with My Faithful Dog. Look at that. This is edited by Dalton Exley and photography by Yoneo Morita. Did I pronounce that correctly? But it's just literally page a day. You get an image of a, oh gosh, you get the image of a dog and a little quotation from somebody. A puppy can smell dinner through double glazing and heavy oaken doors and brick and concrete and a casserole dish. This is true. They'll hear a crinkling wrapper opening and, you know, they'll be at your feet in a second. And just, yeah, they're just so adorable. They kind of have this like fisheye lens image of the dog, you know, where you get the nose, like, that's adorable. And I've just been enjoying just delving into it every once in a while. I really like this one too. The world would be a sadder place without puppies. So cute. And then I also picked up a couple books from work. One I finished last night. It's the first out of her collection. This is Sarah Scribbles collection. Book one is Adulthood is a Myth. And it's just a collection of her cartoons. They're pretty cute. This goofy kind of bug-eyed character. I like this one particularly. I don't know if you can't read that. It just says, I'll read for a bit before going to sleep. And then, of course, you know, daylight breaks and you're still reading. And your eyes are all, you know, bloodshot. We've all been there. Let's admit it. Yeah, so it's just a cute, crazy character. Before the holidays, after the holidays. But I enjoyed it, yeah. And so that's book one of her collection. And this is book two, A Big Mushy Happy Lump. Great title. I guess that's her pet rabbit. But yeah, it's been cute. I enjoyed them. I've seen him somewhere. I don't know if it was on Facebook or something like that. So I kind of remember the character, so I thought I'd pick it up. But anyway, yeah, that's what I'm reading right now. Murder on the Road, and then also She Who Became the Sun, which is my audiobook. And I'm not sure I'm going to pick up after that. We'll see. I'll let you know when I know. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are reading something good. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these or if any of these sound interesting to you. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.